So hi everyone, today in this video we're gonna develop another mental model that can be useful for you since mental models are representations about how the reality works. And as much more grasp you, higher is so the probability of you getting prosperity, because prosperity it always comes with taking the best actions that obviously they are the best depending in the context that they're made, and this requires you have interpretation, have a good ability to generate hypotheses of actions, and having so a good process, a good selection about all the hypotheses action that you have. You choose so the right one to take, and then so as much more you're able to do it, higher so is your probability to take what you want, that is prosperity. But then, so how you develop your decision making? By having good information about the reality, good beliefs, grasping good patterns that are things that are recurrent to happen in our business world and whatever is the field that you want to get the prosperity, but as well having good frameworks to think, like bulletproof problem solving to solve problems. But then, so to what you're gonna talk, we're gonna talk about the Cantillon effect. That one's really important to understand how printing money it redistributes wealth unevenly, and then so it influences a lot the power of how much you can purchase the things, and so the politics that some of the banks adopts in printing money and how them affect the population differently depending who you are. But then, so what we should start by understanding it. Everyone understands what he's printing money, so we know that a specific amount of money is printing every day by the central banks of each country, or some central banks that are not for each country, they're even for a high majority of countries, like the central bank of the European Union. But then, so what we understand, the printing money, it's one of the type of things that most creates inflation, because it's clear. I give you example. If I have like a small economy that I say that the specific type of component like gold represents a coin that I use. If I just put like 10 type of coin, 10 type of golds, a unity of golds, I say that what I do values that specific one gold. What you do values two. What you do as well, values half of a unity of gold. But what happens if I put more gold in that system, economic system? The things will become valuable because I'm putting more gold, that's a representation of coin, but I'm not increasing the products that I do. And then so what I do, I make the things more valuable. What was in the past before putting more gold, unity of gold in that system, my product that I was selling was so as a value as one unity of gold. But now by I putting more gold in the system, I say that now if they imagine that they put like 2 times of the gold that existed, so they have put in more 10 units of gold, now we have 20, I will say that I will so increase as well proportionally. So I will say that my product now values 2 units of gold. That's what causes inflation. Inflation is the increases of the price, the average prices. And this is a lot created by we putting a lot of money more in the economy and not productivity, so gets like makes company to that increase of unities of representation of the coin that we have the dollar or euro. And what happens? Depending the time that you receive your money, it will change a lot what will your power to purchase. And how I will explain it. So if the inflation is the increasing of the average price of the goods in a certain specific economy, the reality is that something it's a thing that it not happens directly when I put so new printed money in economy. So the first users, they don't suffer with inflation. They're getting money that was printed, but they're not, its money is not flowing through the economy, so the inflation is still not happening. But the reality is that the money that I'm being the first user, so I can buy the things at the price that is going to be lower than when so the inflation really hits the economy. And then If me that buys things with that specific money, now I put then the money in economy, this new printed money, in expense that I've got materials or something. And what happens with more money in the economy? The people perceives the humbleness, much more humbleness, and then the prices increasing of the things. But then these prices will just increase for the people that are like the hand type of receivers of that money, that are the general population, in comparison with that first users that are normally the banks, are normally like the large companies, the state. The state is one of the most type of winners in that specific type of phenomena. They're ones that have both the things with this new printed money, much lower costs than will the majority of population will when the money comes for them. Then they will spend the power of acquisition, which will be much less lower, even considering that in comparison with the first ones that have got the same type of money, but they were the first ones to get touched. And then when just like a small part perceives this humbleness, the inflection doesn't decrease that much when it's already inflowing in the majority of the population. And what this causes is that me as the first users, I can buy the same things as the hand receivers of this new printed money. I can buy much more things with the same amount of money, just because we're spending in different type of times, in different type of conditions. And then it's a benefit of having these type of connections with the central bank, and it's obviously something that sometimes can create certain type of jealousy for the majority population, this type of investment bankers, this type of states, the high type of companies that have these contacts with these central banks. Then they kind of get this benefit of being useful, being able to buy things with new printed money and not suffering with deflation, because they will be the ones that will put that money in the economy. And when they put, they already got what they wanted, the utilities that they would like. And obviously the Cantillon effect is when new money enters the economy via central banks or governments, it doesn't reach everyone at the same time. Those who get it first, the banks, the corporations, the governments, benefit by spending or investing before prices rise. Thus, or receive it last, the workers, the retirees, the small business, they face now inflated prices for essentials like food, housing, and fuel, eroding their purchasing power. And that's something that happens. Impacts: asset inflation, new money flows into stocks, real estate, or crypto first, early recipients buy assets cheaply, driving up prices, latecomers pay inflated prices or get priced out entirely. Wage stagnation, companies may raise prices faster than wages, workers' paychecks by less over time even if nominal wages rise slightly. Savings erosion, retirees or savers holding cash lose wealth as inflation outpaces low interest savings account. See, all this type of feedbacks negative that comes from this type of end receivers that are all included in the Cantillon effect. Debtors versus savers, another dynamic. Borrowers like the government or corporations repay loans with cheaper money, while savers see develop their cash shrinks. See how this benefits the people that spend more, the ones that saves, and that's why people really like inflation. They really like inflation because the inflections cuts how difficult it is to us to pay our debts. People that have debts, they got benefit to inflation. That's why people like inflation. We tend to think that's something that's bad, but it's not. People have a lot of debts, and it's inflation that becomes the debts become easier to get paid. It's something that you have to say. And savers, they have like an action of saving becoming become less like incentivized, and that's something that the governments tend to like, because they perceive that savers as not putting their money in the economy, and people don't like the excedents, so they want the money to flowing through the economy. That's why inflation is good. That's why security of that's good, because sometimes these governments that apply policies for the more poor peoples is the ones that tend more to get so with the bad benefits in comparison with what's like the ideal that is like the rich that they just get to save their money. The inflation, it's like a way to make them less rich over the time, but the reality is that it comes as well with the expense of making harder the life for the people that are poor, that so sees their lives having to face with higher type of prices. But what to do? Own assets, invest in real assets like real estate, stocks and precious metals that appreciate with inflation, so beat the inflation, avoid cash traps, limiting long-term cash holdings, use high-yield accounts or short-term bonds to offset inflation, debt X strategy, use low-interest debt, example mortgages, to acquire pricing appreciating assets, advocate for transparency, support policies that ensure fair money distribution, auditing central banks a lot, it's important, decentralizing finance, and diversify geographically, project wealth by holding assets in stable currencies or countries with responsible monetary policies. Have attention to monetary policies. Economy is everything. It's the most important thing to determine your quality of life. So I expect this video has generated value for you. I expect you has perceived it as valuable enough to put a like in this video. And if we don't much more to say, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next one.